Welcome to day 2 of the Act 4 experience. Norman French, one of the magazine students, have an introduction. Norman?
Hi, I'm Norman French. I'm a senior IMC student at the Meek School. And hi, I'm Norman French. I'm a senior IMC student at the Meek School of Journalism. And I would like to welcome Pat Patterson, mayor and local businessman of Oxford, Mississippi.
Well, thank you, Norman, and I want to welcome you to Oxford. I want to welcome Act 4 here. We're certainly proud of the journalism school and Mr. Magazine over there, and what he brings to our community is fantastic. In fact, the whole journalism school, the Meek School of Journalism, just look around you and you understand why we're proud to have you. We're also proud of our town. Just 30 seconds of it, Oxford's 18,500 people, the second smallest Division I host school in the United States. The university is roughly 18,000, so we are joined at the hip, but we're proud to be there. We're honored to work with the university. Chancellor Dan Jones is great to work with. He supports the town, and we do what we can to support the university back. Again, welcome. We're glad to have you, especially glad to have Cake and Whiskey Magazine. That might be one of my favorites, and Covey Rice, and I saw those lists there, so we're definitely glad to have everyone. And Dr. Husney, thank you for putting this on, and we hope to see you next year. Welcome to Oxford.
Hey everybody, my name is Daly Cantrell, and I'm a double major in journalism and graphic design, and I'm a magazine specialization. And it is my pleasure to introduce Reiman from Reiman Publications. Ready? Come here.
It's Roy!
That was good. Did you say your name was Daly? Or was it weekly? I mean, we were all on frequency here. Yeah. This is always a difficult atmosphere to talk about something seriously in a bar environment. You've been getting, I was surprised at how many people are still here. He gave you a 5-minute warning. You had a chance. You had a chance. So, I mean, in a bar atmosphere like this, it seems like, to talk about something seriously is kind of like trying to do that in the middle of a Budweiser commercial. It seems almost more appropriate if I said, a guy walks into a bar, those kind of jokes. And I could tell tasteless jokes like that, and I will. One that comes to mind is a guy walks in the bar with a dog on a leash. And the bartender says, "Hey, you can't bring a dog in here." And the guy said, "Well, he's my seeing eye dog." Oh, the bartender feels so bad. He goes around, helps the guy on the bar stool, and gives him a beer as an apology. A guy standing outside the bar, and the door is open. He sees what happens. He figures it's worth a chance, so he walks in. The bartender says, "Hey, you can't bring a dog in here." And the guy said, "Well, he's my seeing eye dog." The bartender looks over and says, "A chihuahua for a seeing eye dog?" And he said, "Those jerks gave me a chihuahua?" You got to think quickly in this business. Yeah. So, the heck with getting serious. Okay, I'll have one more. I've got a bar joke, but it's also a blonde joke. So that's kind of, that's risky. But Sarah told me this one. She's blonde, so it's safe. The guy walks in the bar, and he doesn't realize that it's a women's bar. He sits down on the stool, and he says, "Man, I got a blonde joke that I can't wait to tell." The woman on the stool next to her says, "You sure you want to tell that joke in here? You notice the bartender's blonde, the two waitresses are blonde, the manager's blonde, and I'm the owner, and I'm blonde, and I got a black belt in karate. You sure you want to tell that joke in here?" And he says, "Nah, I don't think I'd want to explain it 5 times." Well, Sarah told me that, so it's safe. Well, obviously, I was going to check first. I guess you are alert after all. I'd like everybody here, just for a bit of fun, a 1-minute math test. I want you all to pick a number 1 to 10 and keep it to yourself. Okay? Now multiply that number by 9. Take a small one, it's a little easier. They're not all from Mississippi. Yeah, I just put my, all right. Okay. Oh. Okay, you took 9, you multiply by 9. Got that number? Okay, this new number you have in mind, take the 2 digits of that number and add them together. Okay, so if your number was 12, it'd be 3, but you add them together. Got it? Subtract 5. We're almost done.
I'm blonde, I don't get it.
Okay, subtract 5. This number you have in mind, only 2 steps left. Take the equivalent letter of the alphabet that matches that number. In other words, if you had a 2 now, it'd be B. So got the equivalent letter of the alphabet that matches your number. Got it? All right, think of a country that begins with that letter. Now the last step is take the second letter of your country and think of an animal. How many of you think you're an elephant from Denmark? See? See, when you're selling subscriptions or anything, you have to have a mindset. By the way, the percentage was lousy. Yeah, yeah, it was. That really wasn't very good. Yeah. Okay, I'll see. I lost them already. That was my fault. Okay, I better get serious. Well, really, I wanted to start with a little bit of levity because I've never really taken, just like the title, I haven't taken publishing that seriously. And I think a lot of people do. We've had a lot of fun. Even in my office, I always had a poster or a little saying on the wall that says, the day this isn't fun, I quit. And I think our whole staff kind of, you know, the LaBelle publisher today, I know that I heard you and I like the atmosphere of your office too. And our readers, I always thought that, you know, I'm not talking about B2B magazines. We had lifestyle magazines that, you know, if it's fun to write, it's fun to read. And our readers really caught on to that. We'd get a lot of notes that say, it sounds like you guys are having a lot of fun at the office, and we were. And so we kept it fun. And now that I totally flunked retirement and went back to launch 2 magazines, I'm having fun again too. The introductions, I asked her not to give any backgrounds, but some of you, you know, I've talked to you, this is my 3rd time, so this gets to be a bit redundant. I was telling Scott before, I was thinking, you know what, my wife's not here, I don't have to be honest, they can make up a lot of interesting stuff, but they say repetition adds retention in advertising, so some of it, but anyway, I sold the company a number of years ago, wrote a book, played more golf, traveled, and got bored. I mean, I just missed the creative outlet. You know, it's what I do. I write and edit. You know, I edit billboards at 70 miles an hour. Ask my wife. They should have somebody proofread billboards, by the way. I found another one with 2 instead of TOO, which is 2 again the other day. But anyway, I missed that, and I thought I had ideas going away. So what I'm going to tell you in the next 10 minutes or so is a little bit of what I'm doing now, why I'm doing it, and maybe there's some ideas that you might even try. The reason I kind of got back in again was, as I said, the creative environment. But I started one in my home state of Iowa 5 years ago, 4.5 years ago, and it's now at it's over 90,000 circulation. And then this year I started our Wisconsin, and it looks. You in the back will really appreciate this, but this gives you an idea. We save money on everything, but you printers like to know everything but the paper and the printing. We print them on the best quality paper we can get, with the gleaming covers and so forth. And we're pretty short on other things staff-wise. There's just the 2 of us. The editor, I'm the publisher and editor. We both pretty much crank it out, and we have 3 part-timers. One's the artist, one's the finance person, and the other one is what didn't cover? Handles promotion. So you know, it's grown pretty quickly, and so it sounds like we're really lean staffed, right? But we're really not, because what we do is we select a field editor in each county in the state. Now in Iowa, that's 99 counties, so we have 99 field editors. Wisconsin, we have 72 field editors. These are not paid people. They're not paid. And before you think I'm taking advantage of these people, I think sometimes people they think that money is more important than other things. There's a lot of other things in life besides money. But the fact that they're listed in every issue, we feature one each time. We make them feel important. They are. They get the issues in advance. We send a newsletter before each issue that's called the Newsletter for Editors Only. And we tell them what the theme is of the next issue, what we're looking for, and then we just wait for it. It just comes pouring in. Any kind of a book or calendar, they get the first copy. So we treat them pretty well. So that looks like in Wisconsin. Let's just do Wisconsin now because it's the most current. And in Wisconsin now, we started in January, and we I found on my cell phone today or my iPhone. Okay, I'm updating now. But we hit 60,000, so that's in 10 months. So it's doing pretty well with that kind of population. But we really have an extended staff, so we have 72 editors. No, really, we have 60,000 staffers because our magazines are basically written by readers, and so we keep asking for material. And I'm embarrassed to tell you this: we pay them in pies. Okay. I suppose you want me to explain that, but we have an Amish diarist that keeps a week's diary for each issue. The readers love it. This Amish family has. I'm a hoarse from talking over this crowd here earlier, but they have no electricity, they have no phone, they have no car, and just the diary of how their life goes day to day. But on this farm, they have a bakery where people have been pulling off. When I found out at the bakery, we started sending the pecan pie for some prize or something. It was so popular that what we do now is that anyone who sends us an item, a photo or whatever, that we print, they get paid in pies. And it's just been a huge hit. Again, it's not necessarily monetary that rewards people, but it's something that other people can't get. And that's sort of what we do with advertising. I'm kind of jumping ahead here. But we try to make it mostly by subscriptions. We only take 20% advertising. How many of you who limit advertising? We will only accept 20% advertising. We stay at 84 pages an issue, and when we hit 20%, we cut it off. It's actually allowed us to, number one, the ads are surely coming in a lot earlier to meet our deadline, but we've been able to raise the price because people always want what's hard to get, and they want to qualify for the circulation. Now, the other thing we do with the ads that, we're all in different states, so if you want to use this, fine. But what we do is we urge people to read the ads. We hide a W in just 3 ads per issue. And if you in Iowa, we hide an I like our logo, which is even harder to find. And readers who find all 3 I's or W's write in, and they're qualified for prizes. Now, mind you, they can't do it by phone, they can't do it by email. Isn't postage, 49 cents now? 47 cents? The point is, whatever it is, these people, how many people do that anymore? These are all in first-class letters saying, I found the 3 I's or W's on these 3 pages. And so then we draw from those, and we give prizes. Well, how many prizes? Depends on how many advertisers. We ask each advertiser to get involved in this by giving away $100 of their product or service. Let's say it's a hotel. They might give away a one-night stay. If it's a restaurant, they might have a meal for 4. We try to get the advertisers creative too, and some have done a really good job. The car dealership gives a total detail wax of your car. We have a college campus, Alverno Women's College, who gives away a tour of the campus by the president, and even some ivy plants from their growing on it. So the Milwaukee Art Museum has this big brise soleil, and the winner gets to go down and push the button that opens this. So they're getting into it. So okay, it's a $100 prize. Well, we simply deduct $100 from their ad, so it doesn't cost them anything. This is really we now have 6,400 and some the last issue. That's how many sent a first-class letter. You talk about involvement. we get letters that tell us that this is almost a bonding factor. One woman says, I have a teenage granddaughter that's 300 miles away, and as soon as the magazine comes out, we get on the phone and see who can find all three quicker than the others. One guy's kind of there's a grandpa that's gotten pretty smart. He said in a letter that as soon as he finds the three, he emails all of his kids and tells them what page they're on so he can send it in. But apparently, it leads to readership. So that's one part. Now I want to tell you about Cal, because see, we don't have an ad salesman, and yet we sort of do, because I created a fictional ad salesman. His name is Cal, and he never shows up for a sales call, as you guess. The advertisers are all into it. They know we're doing it now. I mean, we even get calls and they ask, they're chuckling on the phone. So the deal is that every 2 weeks, we have now 610 potential advertisers on a list. They get another letter with a sorry, I almost said sorry ass, but anyway, with another sorry excuse of why he couldn't make the call. And every one of them's got a little bit of a plug for the magazine and some more detail, our growth and so forth. Now, I'm a big believer when you make a mailing like that, always put a lump in the letter. That's what I call it, a lump in the letter. Am I echoing on this? It seems like it up here. Is this popping forward? Okay. But if you send a promotional letter, you can't say secretary anymore. So if the executive assistant gets a flat letter, she'll figure it's promotional and throw it away. But not if there's a lump in it, something that appears of value. So I know it's going to go to the person intended. So there's either something that Cal, who's kind of a nice klutz, was either going to wear or something he was to give them. So the first one had a tie in that he was going to wear. We got them from Goodwill. They were just awful ties. The second one had a sock in it. He'd ordered a gross of socks. They were the wrong size. He couldn't return them. So here's a sock. And each one of these has kind of a corny theme on it. That one said, put a sock in it. And it said, haven't you had an ad salesman sitting across from you and going on and on and on? You just want to tell them to put a sock in it? Well, here it is. And the other one's coming. So the next one. So we just keep coming out with one thing. Okay, I'll admit it. I was telling Scott this. The best one we've had so far is that, see, and it wasn't my idea. It was Jerry's wife. At one stage, Cal had such a cold that Cal's gal, Sal, wrote the letter with some aspirins. And sometime later, we sent out a dog bone. Because what had happened, see, is, I'm sorry to admit this, that they said, see, Cal and Sal's dog, Pal, died. So no use wasting all these dog bones. We actually got calls to the office about the dog bone. So it's kind of fun back and forth with the readers, and that's sort of the games we play. Seemed like there was somewhere. Oh, well, the other thing, at the 20% ad level, we heard a lot of this today. There's surely a lot of ways to make money or income beyond ads, and we have a calendar that that is a big. We sold 6,000 those. Be careful with calendars. Your sales window is very short, and so about when you hit January 15th with the calendar, you're dead. And we were having this discussion earlier with someone else here. I always think in business that breaking even isn't bad in business. It's losses you want to avoid. Anytime you're breaking even, you're paying your staff. You can grow and build on that. Losses you want to avoid. So what I do with the calendar is that when I get about like January 10th and I'm in trouble, well, I'll tell you, if I have 1,000 calendars left over, I'll go out. I know the calendar costs me $2.27, and I'll take them to a restaurant or anywhere where there's several bookstores in town. And say, here, just give me the $2.27. You can sell them for whatever you want, and they're $10 calendars. They gladly take it. So again, all you do that way is you made money, but you didn't lose money. So I've done that with cookbooks and other things that didn't move well. Seemed like I had some other ideas, but maybe you have some questions. And oh no.
Roy, tell everybody a little bit about your background and your magazines and how you got tired of ads and you got to subscribe to ad-free magazines.
Well, I don't know if you heard that question. That's a good question. You got another one? Yeah. Well, I've kind of been over this before with a lot of you have been here, so okay, I'll give you an abbreviated version. I'm a farm kid from Iowa. I was telling Sarah at my table, that really wasn't her joke. But anyway, I went to a very small school. There were 63 students in my high school. There were 11 in my class. And I was fortunate to have an English teacher. You don't have journalism teachers when you have a school that small. She spotted my talent for writing when I was a freshman, and that woman was on my case for 4 years. She was determined I was going to be her first college journalism student, and it worked. She finally hit. When I was a senior, you know, I'm the youngest of 5 farm boys on a rented farm, and I'm the only one that went to college. And I wasn't too sure I was going to make it in college anyway because, you know, like a lot of guys, I was a half-decent athlete. In that little school, this is a bit of brag. We have 63 students in high school. We won the state tournament in baseball. We stunk at basketball, but anyway, but 3 of us played some college ball and so forth. But anyway, I did go to Iowa State and graduated in journalism, went in the Army, ended up in Topeka, Kansas, on Capper's Farmer magazine. At age of 21, I became managing editor, learned a lot on the job, ended up in Milwaukee, and I was working for kind of an entrepreneurial company that was doing magazines for Ford Motor Company and others. And a number of years of that, and I came home. This is what he's getting to. I came home one day, and I said, honey, I'm going to quit my job and go my own. Now, mind you, we had 4 kids, and my wife's pregnant with the 5th. So I've had a really great partner all along. It still is. So she said, let's talk it over if the kids go to bed. So we talked till 2 in the morning. And I was either a great salesman or she got tired. She said, okay, let's go for it. We had $6,800 saved up for this magazine that I knew couldn't miss. I went down the basement of my home, typewriter on a TV tray. I still have it in the visitor center. And pounded out this magazine, and you're all going to say, boy, I bet that was great. Well, we lost $10,000. I didn't know anything about testing. That was the thing I didn't know. But you know, you all learn so much more from failure or mistakes. Mistakes just teach you how to do things right, so you never want to try to get rid of those in your life. And I thought if I have one more chance, and about a year and a half, without going into details, somebody came up, and I had another idea. We took a second mortgage on the house, and that one went like that immediately, and we ended up with 14 national magazines, 16.3 million subscribers, and every 8th home in America got one of them. So what a country, huh? But that's a bit of it, but that may be redundant. Anything else that, a quick question, because the bar is still open and I want to get there.
Question.
Hey, that's fine with me.
I have something to
Yeah.
I need the mic.
Maybe this is risky
It's very risky. It's
or risque.
one of the things that I really like about Troy, and
I bring you free ties.
he bring me free ties,
Yeah.
free candied apples for the kids,
Yep.
and not only that, but after he came to the first, it took a miracle to bring him to the first act experience, and he got addicted. So I don't know if you remember, but you wrote me back, that's the only conference you go to.
It is.
And he's been so good to the Magazine Innovation Center that he's actually on the charter board of advisors for the Magazine Innovation Center. And I am truly appreciative. And I've never actually mentioned the board or even thanked them in public. And today, I mean, we have the charter members with us, including Roy, Jim Elliott, if you'll stand, Franz Cascai, if you'll stand, John Harrington, if you'll stand, John Park, if you'll stand, and Bo Sachs, if you'll stand, And anybody that after 2 glasses of wine, I can't remember their name, and they are on the charter board, please stand. I expected all of you to stand because you are actually a great support. I mean, it's a great ending for the day. Roy has been such a success story. If you did not read his book, we may still have some copies left over there. You need to read his book.
I'm not giving any percentage, okay?
What do you mean you're not giving any percentage? Why am I giving all this whole speech? He said he's not giving any percentages.
I did think of one other. I probably should just let it go. But I was trying to think of some of the other things that I said we do that are a little bit different, and we keep having fun with the readers. And if you want to emulate any of these, one of the reasons that I did start over again is that I thought I had some good ideas going to waste, and one of them is that we started in Iowa. We started the Iowa treasure hunt. And we hide the key to a car in a public park somewhere in Iowa. The finder gets the car. And so each issue, we print a map of Iowa, and then we eliminate 10 counties each issue where it is not hidden, along with another clue. It took 16 months to find the first one. It was so popular that we did it again. Now I'm doing it in Wisconsin, and it's got a lot of attention. Now, we've done 3 cars and wanted something new, so we're now giving you ladies an extreme kitchen, a $20,000 kitchen makeover. And we call that one the key to the kitchen. I haven't even told you about this, Scott, the key to the kitchen contest. And what we're going to do, Smear, is that we're hiding the key at each issue, really a small drawing of it. And if you find the page it's on, okay, you write in and tell what page you're in the drawing. So each issue we're going to draw a name, and the first one, we have different prizes. One of them, our food editor is going to cook a meal in their home for 6 people. So things like, so it'll be 6 of them. But at the end of the 6 months, the 6 issues, we're bringing those 6 winners to a kitchen appliance store, and we're putting a door there, and we give each one a key. But only one of them works, and that's the one that gets the kitchen makeover. So. We just keep involving people like this. We just did the December-January issue, and we print a Christmas tale. We print the first half and have readers complete it. We had 480 people complete that story last year. So, we really get the involvement. We try to keep the readers involved. I'm always saying there's 2 ways to publish. Again, I'm talking lifestyle. There's 2 ways to publish magazine. One is to sort of have a podium and dictate what you think readers should be interested in. Or it's just the opposite. The readers always tell us what they're interested in. So we're always current with what they're interested in, and there's a lot of involvement. We play with them. April Fool, our April issue. They're all geared up and waiting for what we're going to do to them next year. Last year we had this car and we jacked it up, put bigger wheels on the back, and we were contending that it was getting 1.5 miles more because it's always going downhill. People really. We had one where he did this farmer in Iowa had 20 acres of 5-leaf clover. People really bought that and was trying to look up this farm, because there's more carotene and one like that. So we did one where the farmer was farming this hilly area in Iowa, and he invented the round baler, and he called them basketball bales. So they'd all roll down to the end of the field, so you just drive along and pick them up. I mean, they're ready for us at April Fool's. So we have a lot of fun with our readers and a lot of feedback. So I don't know if that was worth adding, but it just gives you an idea of what we're doing.
Well, that's why I'm surprised that Roy have not trademarked the Idea Man, TM. I mean, you cannot meet.
Boy, that's good.
Or see, he's writing the idea. I mean.
Well, I heard somebody call themselves magazine, Mr. Magazine, so why not?
TM.
Yeah.
Let's not forget the TM.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you, Roy. It's always a pleasure.